Let me tell you about a man who fooled everyone. Not just one person, not just a hospital, but the whole world. It all starts with a woman named Benita. She's a successful TV producer living in New York City. One day in 2013, she gets a new assignment. She has to make a documentary about a world-famous doctor, Dr. Paolo. This guy isn't just any doctor. He's known as a rock star surgeon. People say he invented a new life-saving surgery that helps people with damaged windpipes breathe again. Basically, he gives people a second chance at life. So Benita meets him for the interview, and well, she's impressed. Not just by his work. She thinks he's kind of handsome too. They start talking. They start texting. And before long, they're dating. Dr. Paolo seems perfect. He's smart, successful, and romantic. He sends her cute messages every day, like, just wanted to send you a few loving good morning words and a lot of kisses. And she's falling hard. A few months go by. Everything is going great. They're in love, they're happy, and life feels perfect. Then one day, Dr. Paolo gets down on one knee and proposes. Benita is shocked, in the best way. Her eyes fill with tears. She says yes without even thinking twice. She can't believe this is really happening. She's going to marry the man of her dreams. A world-famous surgeon who's smart, kind, and treats her like a queen. But then, there's just one little problem. He's already married. Yep, married. He tells her not to panic. He and his wife are separated, and the divorce is already in progress. It'll be finalized soon, he promises. And Benita, who's head over heels in love, believes him. She wants to believe him. Why would he lie? So they keep moving forward. They start planning their wedding. And not just any wedding. No, this is going to be the wedding. The kind of event people talk about for years. Dr. Paolo says he's inviting all his powerful, famous friends. The Clintons? Coming. The Obamas? Of course. Vladimir Putin? Yep, he'll be there too. Elton John and David Beckham on the guest list. And just when you think it can't get any crazier, he says John Legend is going to perform live at the ceremony. But wait, it gets even wilder. Dr. Paolo tells her the Pope himself is going to marry them, in his private palace. In Italy, the actual Pope. And where will their guests stay? Oh, don't worry. He says he's booked an entire castle for them. A real castle. Like something out of a movie. To Benita, it all feels like a dream. A beautiful, magical dream. Too bad, every single word of it was a lie. Fast forward to 2014. The big wedding is now just a few months away. Everything seems to be falling into place. Benita is so excited, she's counting down the days. She's packing up her life in New York. She's getting ready to move to Barcelona, where Dr. Paolo has a beautiful home. After the wedding, that's where they'll live together. A fresh start, a new chapter, just the two of them. She even quits her job, a job she loved, a job she worked hard for. But she doesn't care. She's ready to become a wife and start this new life with a man she loves. She gets her passport ready, buys new clothes, dreams about the wedding dress, the castle, the Pope, John Legend singing while she walks down the aisle. Her life feels like a fairy tale. But then, one ordinary day, she's just relaxing, scrolling through her phone, reading the New York Times like she always does. And that's when she sees it. Right there on the screen, a news article. It's about Dr. Paolo. But it's not about his amazing surgeries. It's not about him saving lives. No, this story is different. It says that several doctors and scientists are accusing him of something serious, scientific misconduct. They claim that his famous windpipe surgeries aren't what they seem, that they are dangerous, that he's been lying about how successful they really are. Some doctors are even saying his work is harmful, that he might be putting patients in danger. Benita's heart drops. Her hands start shaking. She walks straight up to him and shows him the article. "What is this?" she asks. Dr. Paolo barely looks at it. He laughs. "Oh, they're just jealous," he says. "They don't like how successful I am. That's all." He waves it off like it's no big deal, like it's just gossip. But something inside Benita shifts. She can't explain it. But for the first time, something doesn't feel right. Something feels off. One afternoon, Benita decides to take a break. She's been so stressed with all the wedding planning, the move, the article about Paolo. It's been a lot. So she treats herself to a spa day, just some quiet time to relax and clear her head. She's lying there, wrapped in a warm towel, soft music playing in the background, eyes closed, trying to breathe and stay calm. Then her phone buzzes. It's an email from a friend. At first, she thinks it's just a random update or maybe a sweet message. But when she opens it, she sees a link, a news article. She taps it. It's about the Pope. It says that on the exact day of her wedding, the day Paolo promised the Pope would personally marry them in Italy, the Pope will be thousands of miles away in South America. Her stomach drops. She blinks a few times, reads it again. No, this can't be right. The Pope can't be in two places at once. So if he's going to be in South America, that means he can't marry them in Italy. Her hands start to tremble. Her heart starts racing. She grabs a phone and calls Paolo. She doesn't even try to stay calm. "What the hell is going on?" she yells. "You're lying to me." There's a long pause. Then, in that same calm voice he always uses, he says, "Don't worry. I'll fly to Rome and fix everything." But this time, she doesn't buy it. See, Benita isn't just anyone. She's a TV producer. She investigates people for a living. She can smell lies. And now, her instincts are screaming. So she gets to work. First, she calls a castle. You know, the one Paolo supposedly booked for all the wedding guests to stay in. The woman on the phone, she's polite, but confused. She checks the reservation system. There's no booking under Paolo's name. No wedding. No guests. Nothing. Benita thanks her, hangs up, and dials another venue Paolo mentioned. Same story. No record of him. No wedding. One by one, she calls every place he said was part of their big day. And one by one, they all say the same thing. "We've never heard of Dr. Paolo." Then she gets bolder. She starts reaching out to contacts, people she knows in the media, people who work with the Clintons and the Obamas, people Paolo claimed were his close personal friends. Every single one of them says they don't know him. Not even a little. She keeps going. She contacts someone who works closely with the Vatican. And this person confirms something that hits Benita like a punch to the chest. The Pope has never met Dr. Paolo. He doesn't know who he is. At that moment, it all clicks. Everything was a lie. The Pope, the castle, the wedding, the celebrity friends, all the things that made their love story feel like a fairy tale, were fake. And Benita is left sitting there, heartbroken and humiliated, wondering who the man she fell in love with really is. Benita decides to cancel the wedding. Over 300 guests had already bought plane tickets. Now they all have to cancel. She's heartbroken, but she's not done. She flies to Barcelona to confront Dr. Paolo at his house. And when she gets there, she finds out he's living with another woman. Not the wife he said he was divorcing, a whole different woman. So let's take a step back. This man lied about being divorced, lied about knowing world leaders, lied about the Pope, lied about the entire wedding, lied about living alone. But wait, it gets worse. Yes, Dr. Paolo is a real doctor. He really did come up with a new kind of surgery for people with damaged windpipes. And he was hired by a top medical research center in Sweden. But here's the scary part. That surgery, it was never properly tested. He skipped important steps. And he started doing surgeries on real people way too soon. At first, it looked like the surgeries were working. But then, patients started getting sick. Some died. Others had strokes. Some went blind. One person had to go through 200 surgeries just to fix the damage. It was a disaster. And yet, he kept doing it. As time passed, more and more doctors started looking into his work. And they started speaking out. They said his research was fake. His numbers were wrong. And his surgeries were dangerous. Even Benita started writing letters to the hospital in Sweden. She told them what she knew, how he was a liar and a fraud. Finally, they opened an investigation. They found out he had lied on his resume. He made up the results of his surgeries. And he hurt people. In 2016, he was fired from the university for scientific misconduct. Then in 2023, Swedish police charged him with gross assault for what he did to his patients. Yes, you heard that right. His surgery was so bad, it was treated like assault. He was sentenced to 2 years and 6 months in prison. So what happened to Benita? She didn't get married. She didn't move to Barcelona. She didn't get the dream life she planned. But she did something even better. She told the truth. She helped expose a man who fooled hospitals, scientists, and even patients around the world. All because he wanted to be famous. All because he couldn't stop lying. Dr. Paolo could have been a real hero. But instead, he chose to be a fraud. And that's the unbelievable story of how one woman fell in love with a world-famous doctor, only to find out he built their entire relationship on lies. If this story had you shaking your head in disbelief, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more real-life jaw-dropping stories, and drop a comment below. What would you have done if you were in her shoes? Until next time, stay sharp, stay safe.